Hello and welcome to this tutorial series on IELTS General Training Writing module. My name is Divesh Nair, and as you can tell, I'm an Indian guy and a non-native English speaker. Now you may be in a similar position I was in previously, where you're receiving a lot of mixed advice on how to approach the test. What resources you should use, what you shouldn't, how many hours a day you need to spend on practicing, which is hard when you're already having a hectic work schedule. When it comes to resources, if you would really like to buy any book, I would recommend just one, and that's Barron's. It's got a lot of great techniques on helping you get a good score by focusing on sharpening specific skills in the language. That's what I did. Despite buying a few other books, Barron's was the only one I ended up using. But I'm hoping with this series you'll actually already have what's needed to get a good score without the need to spend anything. I have in fact taken the IELTS on two different occasions, scoring an overall band 8 in both attempts. In both these instances, I kept my study plan plain and simple, with a lot of emphasis on practicing techniques that help me get a good score, and I'm hopeful to share some of these tips and tricks that I've learned through my journey, which might actually help you score as much as I did, if not even higher. So without further ado, let's begin. The writing module is probably the most challenging to get a good score. This is where techniques need to be learned. Existing skills need to be trained so that the objective is met, that's getting a score of 8 or more. Now, what do we expect of this module? There are two tasks in the general training, and here's the rundown. Task 1. You get 20 minutes with a minimum word limit of 150. Task 2. You get 40 minutes with a minimum word limit of 250. Task 2 is worth twice the marks of Task 1, with less than double the minimum words. Now you're probably thinking of paying more importance to Task 2, and you're probably quite right in doing so. Right, so we now know the tasks, but what are the question types? Let's check them. Task 1. You will be required to write a letter in response to a situation. This could be one where you will be requesting or giving information to people, or you will be required to make an invitation or tender an apology to someone. Or better still, you will need to be explaining a problem. Some of these situational letters can be quite reminiscent to you of what you might have actually experienced in real life. If not, don't worry. You can be creative. In fact, you'll have to be. We'll figure out how to do that during this course, if it doesn't come naturally. I assure you, watching TV shows might actually help you responding to situations. I do confess, binge watching on Netflix did quite help along with my preparation. Got my creative juices flowing in the head. How I remember those long nights watching shows like Daredevil, Stranger Things, Mindhunter, and Narcos. Well, Narcos was in Spanish and not entirely relevant to this discussion. I don't recommend if you are not into watching TV shows. You'll end up with headaches at work the next day or need a lot of cups of coffee, looking like a train wreck. But if you're an A-class, lazy-ass Kung Fu Panda-like master, just like me, it'll totally be worth it. Yeah, I like to eat and watch TV. But now, it's on to task 2. Here you'll be required to write an essay supporting an opinion with reasons and examples. As simple as that. Alright, let's now wrap this up. So here's what you can expect. 2 tasks being covered in the tutorial, both being important, but the second one has more weightage and scoring potential. We'll focus videos by skill and cover 1 or maybe 2 skills per video. There are 25 skills in total that will need to be addressed. You'll have practice materials available for download through links in the description of each video. Once we've covered the skill sets, I highly recommend you take 2 full practice tests in a timed environment, trying to simulate test day conditions within 1 week of your test date. About practice, this depends on each individual's level of English. If you're an average Joe, consider needing to spend 20 minutes a day on writing for about 15 days to cover your prep. Add 2 days of 60 minutes each for the practice tests as well. Well, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe and ding that notification bell for future videos. I'll see you in the next video.